Welcome to episode number 29 of the Piscopod. I am your host, Sasha. Thank you for tuning in. Well, here we are, February the 8th? February the 8th. I don't know where you folks are. Are you still experiencing Snowmageddon? But here where I am, broadcasting from the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, we are still having this fantastic weather. Matter of fact, I was out today with the dogs, wearing my shorts and my Carhartt hoodie, and it was beautiful. Sunshine and blue skies and warm temperatures. Hardly any snow left on the ground, only in the shady places. But here we are. I don't want to jinx it, but I know we still have some cold weather and some snow coming our way in these parts, as it always is, but I'm not complaining about the nice stuff. So here we are broadcasting. This episode brought to you by 1868 Entertainment, and we're broadcasting from Sin City Sound Studios, like I said, in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. And yeah, where can we begin today? It's probably going to be a short episode because I really don't know what to say anymore. We're living in crazy town, and things are not getting any better. The Epstein files, they did the 3.5 million pages of documents and videos and stuff like that. I've been going down the rabbit hole for about the past week, looking at some of these videos and stuff, and yeah, it is fucking scary and creepy. And what's even scarier and creepier is that there's no arrests. There's none. No arrests have been made in reference to any of this information that has come out. So it's starting to look like that old adage about the different wings of the same bird, because Trump, for all his big talk that he was doing during the campaign about that he was going to be the most transparent presidency in the history of America, and that he was going to drain the swamp, and all the other fancy hashtags and slogans that he said in order to win the election. He really hasn't done fuck all, to be honest with you. And his name is all over it. All his friends' names are all over it. And like I said, no arrests have been made as of yet. And there's been some really dark and deviant stuff coming out about this too. Child sacrifices, crazy things. I was reading a thing today about how Epstein, he wanted the foreign girls at his New Mexico ranch. I can't even say it because they're gonna jinx my YouTube account, but he wanted them taken care of and then buried outside his ranch somewhere. And even with all this information, you would think that the feds would have, ground penetrating radar or whatever all over his Epstein's former New Mexico ranch, and there's nothing. They're not doing anything about it. So, it kind of makes you believe that, the conspiracy theories about that were being run by an elite group of pedophiles and Satanists seems to be pretty accurate, for lack of a better word. Epstein, there's been some pictures leaked recently that he's alive and kicking back and doing well in good old Tel Aviv. Some pictures were leaked on the internet, and face recognition technology gave it a 98% accuracy that that's him. He just has longer hair and a full beard now. But that too kind of goes with the narrative. Personally, I never really thought that guy killed himself in jail, right? There's just way too many coincidences that are going on in all of this stuff. The cameras were down the night that he hung himself, and the guards, they fell asleep or they weren't paying attention, even though he was on a 24-hour suicide watch. There's just way too many coincidences that are going on that are that are following this whole thing around. Comet Pizza. Remember that? Where it was like, oh yeah, this is a satanic ritual place for the elites, and where they traffic children out of. And then there was a fella that shot the place up, and the feds paraded him out, where he was like, I thought that this was what's going on there, but I was wrong. I found nothing, and da 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 da. Kind of sweeping that under the rug. And did you know that he was found mysteriously shot to death a couple of days before the Epstein files were released? And lo and behold, in the Epstein files, there is talk about Comet Pizza, of all fucking places, and pizza in general. There was some odd emails from Epstein's doctor, who was prescribing him erectile dysfunction medication, who was talking about, hey, yeah, after you're done picking up your prescription, take it, wash your hands, and then maybe we can go for some pizza and grape soda. On the surface, it doesn't seem too weird, but when you see the amount of emails and text messages going back and forth from the Podestas to Bill Clinton to everybody that's named in these files, and they're all talking about pizza. So pizza and sodas and chicken, and so either these elites are on this weird diet that they're all a part of, or it's, as was speculated long ago, that that this stuff is actual code words for this dark deviant stuff that's going on. My wife and I, we kind of went down the rabbit hole with the movie Eyes Wide Shut. I'm not sure if you folks have ever seen that. A great Stanley Kubrick movie. And it was Stanley Kubrick's last movie. He was unalived. I can't remember the details behind his demise, but he was deceased before the movie came out, and they actually had to recut the movie and re-edit the movie because he died after the first screening, and it was filmed at a Rothschild's mansion, and it was all in regards to these satanic ritual balls that are being held. And like I said before, there was a first screening of the movie, and it was 3 days after that he was gone. And the conspiracy theorists think that the original cut of the movie that he had far too much information in regards to what these elites were doing, and they basically offed him. It's too much of a coincidence that all these people, they have all these mysterious accidents, and then they get shot up and all sorts of crazy things like that. More on the Epstein thing, and there's emails and text messages back and forth that Epstein and Bill Gates were planning mock pandemics going back as far as 2015. Of course, Bill Gates, with this STD claim in the emails through his lawyer, claims that all this is hogwash and false, obviously. His ex-wife, Melinda Gates, though, on the other hand, she's a little more vocal about what's going on, and understandably so. It's got to be something pretty embarrassing for her and everyone in her life to have public knowledge about how her husband at the time was rounding up drugs that he could slip to her unbeknownst to her, in order for her to be getting treated for sexual diseases that he was bringing into the marital home. So, I mean, no matter how you slice it, folks, this is just getting weirder and weirder and weirder by the day. And more stuff is coming out. Kash Patel, he's on record saying, not that long ago that there's absolutely no proof that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking underage women. And now that the files are released, that clearly goes against what he said too. So we're at the stage now. Is there like fucking anybody that we can believe anymore? We can't believe the media. The media is clearly unusually silent about it. They're the first ones. They're the first ones when news of something of this magnitude and caliber pops up that they're all over the place, like trying to get answers and trying to out people and what good journalists are supposed to do, but they're eerily quiet on all of this. There's lists of numerous co-conspirators for Epstein. Leslie Wexner, the guy that heads one of the biggest media conglomerates on the planet. Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell. The state of Israel is literally all over the Epstein files in one way or another. And like I said, with the recently leaked photographs of Epstein, living large in Tel Aviv, you just have to scratch your head as to what is going on now. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Bad Bunny is doing the halftime show. It has, Americans and sports fans divided. I'll be honest with you. Up until most recently, I thought that Bad Bunny was that mouthy chick from the Dr. Phil show. The Cash Me Outside. That one? That's who I thought Bad Bunny was. Apparently, no. It is this Puerto Rican, whatever he does, entertainer. And I did not watch the halftime show as of this airing. I did tune into the TPUSA halftime alternative show. That was interesting. A lot of lip syncing going on, and it was literally a cornucopia of who's who of who the fuck was that. Terrible audio. I couldn't understand half of the lyrics of the first 3/4 of the show. It wasn't until after Kid Rock's lip-syncing debacle on his Kid Rock thing when they introduced him as Robert Ritchie, the song that he played, that was actually a very cool tune. And it was the first tune that I could actually understand the lyrics. So what about you guys? Did you tune into the halftime show that the NFL did, or did you tune into the TPUSA? I'm kind of torn in between both of these because I think the TPUSA, with all the stuff that's been coming out about that place lately, that place is, poor Charlie Kirk, he's rolling in his grave. His honeypot wife, Erica, no sooner is he cold and dead in the ground that she has basically turned that into Jewfest 2026. It is completely pro-Israel, pro-Judea-Christian, and from what we know, towards the end, Charlie was completely anti-Zionist, and it's just hard to see that his hard work has literally been upended through Zionist and Jewish donations, and now is basically another propaganda arm of the state of Israel. Erica Kirk, she's getting into loads and loads of, not trouble, but she certainly has a PR dilemma on her hands with all the information and stuff about her past that's coming out. Clearly, let's just say she hasn't been completely honest as to her, not really dating until she met Charlie, kind of like the trad wife that she was trying to sell. And then when you look at her feverishly deleted Instagram accounts that, how they say the internet, you can never erase the internet. And somebody was smart enough to kind of save these things and archive them. And lo and behold, they're pulling those suckers up now. And it doesn't look good for her, from her drinking and partying to her, selling sex to racy photo shoots. Certainly not the traditional Christian wife that she made people believe that she was. So things aren't looking good for her in that aspect. The $1 billion donations from, the name escapes me now, a French guy, Pierre was his name. That was actually the first call after Charlie Kirk's assassination, was to this guy, and that has been proven, and it doesn't look good. Again, we talk about coincidences, and and how many of these things are coincidences before they're no longer coincidences, and that they're like part of a plan. Do you know what I mean? The TPUSA thing, like I said, Lee Bryce was on there. Gabby Barrett, never heard of her before. Brantley Gilbert was on there. Touted as country music. I'm a music fan. So, I hate to shit on artists when I don't have to, but Brantley Gilbert, I mean, it was a great set that he played, but it certainly wasn't country, in my opinion. Everything from the rock-ended production to even the songs, with the exception of a couple of lyrics about cowboy boots and down-home farming kind of thing. That was a complete rock show. Not that I'm complaining, but I just don't get it. Why don't you just sell yourself as a country rock act? Why do you sell yourself as a down-home hayseed country? It was nothing further from that. Gabby Barrett, again, never heard of her before. Looked like a good farm-fed girl, blonde hair, blue-eyed, very nasally in the singing. Couldn't understand a word that she said out of all the songs that she played. I maybe got like 3 words out of all of them. But again, in true Turning Point USA fashion, very, very hyped and very glitzy. And I didn't see if Turning Point actually did an entire show leading up to this alternative halftime thing. I just caught the halftime thing on YouTube prior to me coming on here and taping this show. Out of 10, I'd give it a, I don't know, out of 10, I'd give it a strong 7, maybe even an 8, only because from what I did see about the actual NFL Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny, I thought that he was going to come on there by himself, and he told people that he was coming out in a dress, and people have 4 weeks to learn Puerto Rican because he ain't going to be singing English, and yada da 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 da. And then lo and behold, as I'm kind of looking at the news feed and on socials, Lady Gaga was there, and Drake was there, and Cardi B, I guess was on stage as well. And I'm like, well, that seems pretty desperate. They probably knew that that might tank, so they got some more star power in there to bolster to their ratings. I have yet to see if that worked out for them. I'll be doing that, checking that after the show. But yeah, that's where we are. I really don't have much to say. I'm still going down this rabbit hole with these Epstein files here in Canada. For Alberta separation. We have 68 days left to sign. So get out there and sign. Let's do what we can. Carney is still embroiled in all sorts of conflicts of interest. I'll leave that to another show. And that's all I got for you this week, cats and kittens. I've been just digging down this Epstein rabbit hole, and there's just so much stuff to go through from, the obvious videos. I mean, let's be honest with one another. Trump is all over this thing. Our illustrious Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, he's mentioned all over this thing. Turns out that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they're going to testify before Congress. So, now Trump is like, I like Bill Clinton. He's always treated me well. So, I mean, it doesn't look good for any of these guys. And like I said on the top of this show, there's been no arrests made, which is frightening. These people have clearly done this, what they're accused of, and more, right? This is just stuff that they've released. I would assume that there's a whole treasure trove of other documents and videos and such that they haven't released, that they've probably already long since destroyed, right? So, we're dealing with some pretty dark and evil forces here. But like I said, there's just so much stuff to go through, and I apologize for this show to be short, but there's just too much stuff to weed through. I'm going to spend the next week or so weeding through some more of these details to bring to you on next Sunday's show. And, get on your knees and pray, folks, because we are living in some dark times. And, the best disinfectant is the light. So we need to get all this information into the daylight, and we need to hear about it. We need to learn about it, and we need to do something about it. So, pray for your family, pray for your friends, and take care of one another. We will talk to you next Sunday. See ya.
Yo, the curtain drops, watch the show unfold. Puppets on a string, ain't no truth to be told. From Carney up north to Trump in the White House, they all played a role while the shadows pull the strings, taking control. Secret societies, they laughing in the dark while we fighting against each other, they just feed the spark. Putin flexing hard, Zelensky keeping it real. Netanyahu's always lying, begging America, crying, what the fuck's the deal? We falling in the chaos, but they pulling the strings. Ain't no real leaders, just thugs and their bling. Keep us divided, that's the ultimate plot. No matter who's in charge, we all just puppets getting shot. Getting shot, getting shot, getting shot, getting shot, getting shot. Katy Perry kissed a girl while Trudeau's in the mix. Got her by speaking moistly while Canada's elbows down. Asses up, taking America's dick. Ooh, shit. Carney's always scheming, making moves in the dark while the world's distracted by his bullshit remarks. He whispering sweet, nothing's keeping the plot thick. Canada's his bitch bent over, this damn country's going to shit. Country's going to shit, shit, shit. We ballin'! We ballin' in the chaos, but they pulling the strings. Ain't no real leaders, just thugs and they bling. Keep us divided, that's the ultimate plot. No matter who's in charge, we all just puppets. Getting shot, getting shot, getting shot, getting shot. No matter who's in charge, we all just puppets. Getting shot, getting shot, getting shot, getting shot. No matter who's in charge, we all just puppets. From the left and the right, it's a puppet parade. While the rich keep us fighting, they just cash in the fade. All the world's a stage and we play our part, but the real masterminds just laughing at the yard. So wake the fuck up, stop playing the fool. They divide and conquer while we drown in the pool. We ain't gotta listen, rise up from the floor. Break the strings, burn the stage, we ain't taking no more. So when the curtain drops, we'll stand side by side. No more pulling the strings, we're done with this ride. In this Game of Thrones, we'll rewrite the script, cause together you're united, we won't let it slip. We ballin' in the chaos, but they pullin' the strings. Ain't no real leaders, just thugs in their bling. Keep us divided, that's the ultimate plot. No matter who's in charge, we all just puppets getting shot. On the who's in charge, we all just puppets getting shot. No, who's in charge, we all just puppets getting shot. Get shot. Who's in charge, we all just puppets getting shot.